7 and 75 7 here, 77 75 7 here, sold 175 Chris 10. Anybody back there? Dollar bid, 105 and 105 here, good to 105, it get 5, it get 5, it get 5, 5 here, good to be 105 and 105 here, good to be 105, it get 5, it get 5, it get 5, it get 5, and 10 here, good to be 110, 15 and down 20, 125, good to be 125 and 125, good to be 125 and down 25, good to be 125, 5 here, so 120 S1. $2. $2, 2.5, and 2.5, it'll get 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 255, and now 5, it'll get 5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 10 here, 210, 210, 210, and now 10, but 210, it'll get 210, 12.5, it'll be 12.5, 210, 12.50, and 210, 12.5, it'll be 10, 12.5, 15, and now 15, it'll get 15, it'll get 15, 17.5, 17.50, and 17.5, 17.5, 17.5 here, 17.5 S, 215, 61. $1.50. $1.55 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, now 50, now 5, and 55, 60, now 65, and now 70, 171, 70, good to be 70, even to get 70, even to get 70, $1.70 pound, good to be 170, even to get 70, even to get 75, 75, 75, 75 here, Doug, 170 on 6, 6X, nope, 10, put them on 10. Yeah. Yeah, he's got big weights, don't he? Dollar pound. $1 pound. $1.10. $20. 30. 40. $40. 50. $60. 70. $70. $60, Chris. Nothing. Rainbow, $1. 105 and 105 here. Good to 105. Good to get 5. Good to get 5. Good to get 5. Good to 105 here. Good to 110. Good to be 110. 15. Good to be 120 and 5 and 30 and 35. 40. Good to get 45. 50. Good to get 55 and 55. 50. 60. 165 and 65. 70. 75 and 75 here. 75. 80. 85. 90. 195. Good to be 195 and 95 there. Good to get 95. Good to get 95. Good to get 95 here. 95 here. So 190. Put them on Cavaness Bull-X. $220, $222 and a half, and $220, we get 2 and a half, 25, 7 and a half, 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 32.50, and 30, we get 2 and a half, going to be 31, 2, and 32, 32, 32, 10, 33, 33, 33, now 3, and 33, we get 3, and 33, we get 3, 33, we get 3, 33, we get 3, 33, we get 3, now 32, we get 3, so 232, put them on that, 61. Dollar. $5 and 105 here. Good to be 105. Good to get 10 and 15. Good to be 20. Good to get 5. Good to be 30. Good to get 5. Now 40. Good to get 40 and 145 and 45. 50. Good to get 50. Now 5 and 55. 60. Good to get 65 and now $65. 5. Good to get 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 5 here. S 160 on 9. Two 4-year-olds. $1.50. $1.55 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, we get 65, and now 70, going to be 175, going to be 180, 180, 180, 180, and 75, going to be 80, 85, 85 there, going to be 85, 85, 85 here, going to be 85, you give 85 here, going to be 85, 85 S, 180, 21. $210 and $210, $12.50 and $210, $12 at a time, bit of a 10, $12 at a time, going to be $210, $12 at a hand, $210, $12 at a hand, $12 at a hand, $12 at a hand, $12 at a hand, going to be $12 at a hand, 15, and now 15, we get 15, now 15, we get 15, $12 at a hand, 15, 17 at a hand, 17.50, 17 at a hand, 17 at a hand, 17 at a hand, 17 at a hand, 17 at a half, here, Doug, 7, 215. $1.50, $1.55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, we get 65, and now 70, going to be 170, now 77 and a half, 70, 170, 170, 250, and 70, we get 2 and a half, going to be 70, we get 2 and a half, going to be 70, we get 2 and a half, here it's all 170, Cavaness 9. Light bull, $1.50. $55, 55, we get 60, we get 5, we get 70, we get 5, we get 80, we get 5, we get 90, we get 95, now 2, and 200 pounds, we get 2 and a half, we get 202 and a half, we get 250, and 2 and a half, we get 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 2 and a half, Doug, $2.06. Oh my goodness. There's another one, Chris. $1. $1.10 and 110, 20, we get 20, we get 30, we get 40, we get 50, we get 60, we get 70, going to be 81, 90, $2 a pound, and 190, 210, and 210, 210, 20, 210, 20, but about 220, 30, we get 230, 40, and half 40, we get 40, we get 40, 230, 40, and half 30, 40, we get 40, we get 30, we get 40, going to be 30, half 40 here, going to be 240 here, showtime, 230. Boo. You want to resell yours? Bring them back. Showing up over there. 210 and 210, 1250 and 210, 12 at a time, bit of 12 at a time, 15, how 17 at a time, 17 at a time, 20 bit 20 here, going to be 20 bit 20, 220, and hand 20, going to be 20, bit of 20, going to be 20, if you get 20, going to be 20, bit of 20 here, S, 217 at a half, 61. How come our screens ain't working up there? Red Bull, $2. 210 and 210, 210, 210, 210, and hand 10, bit of 210, we get 210, we get 210, we get 210, 20, we get 220, 30, now 30, and 230, we get 30, we get 30, we get 30, 40, we get 240, 50, we get 260, we get 260, we get 270, going to be 270, and now 70, we get 70, we get 70, we get 70, we get 70, here, Bo, 269. He feels better than I do today.
I work in a while yesterday. I put all the pipe by hand and everything. I'm so sorry. So I wanted to fix it somehow. They know why for the car.
Uh-oh. Buyer and lover, 50 cents a pound. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, going to be 70, 55, going to be 80, 55, going to be 90, 55, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, S, $90, one.
I pull the pipe and then probably some mat or something fall down. When we run the pipe in, it can go in, it gets blocked. Man, now we got to find all the fireman ladder.
50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, we get 60, we get 5, now 70, we get 75, now 75, 80, there, going to be 80, give 80, and now 85, there, going to be 85, and 100, going to be 90, 95, we get $95, $1 pound, going to be 105, we get 505 here, going to be 105 here, going to be 105, we get 5, 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 105 here, S, $1, one. $50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 60, 55, going to be 70, 55, going to be 80, 55, going to be 85, 90, 95, going to get $95, a dollar pound, 105, going to 5 and 10, going to be 110, 15, going to be 110, going to get 15, going to be 110, going to get 15, going to be 110, 15, S1, 110.
My whole club went to Florida today.
Florida.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah. My little guy last night is crying. I said, "What are you crying?" He said, "You're gonna be alone." I said, "I hope not."
210, and 210, 1250, and 10, 12 at a time, going to be 10, 12 at a time, going to be 12 at a time, 15, 17 at a half, 17 at a half, 20, going to get 222 at a half, going to get 222 at a half, 5, and 225, 750, and 227 at a half, 30, going to get 230, going to get 30, going to get 30, bit of a 30, going to get 30, going to get 30 and a half, 30, going to get 30, bit 30, going to be 30 here, S, 227 at a half, 61. They driving or flying? We're at.
You know they're going to Florida somewhere. They're flying. They're gonna fly from Oklahoma City to Dallas.
Yeah.
And then
$2. $2.05 and $2.05, $5, $5, $5 here, catch your bid, $2 and $2.05, $5, $5, $5, $5, here, going to be 210, going to get 15, 20, and now 20, now 225, going to be 225 here, 5 here, now 30, and now 30, 35, and 235, 40, going to get 245, going to get 245 here, 5 here, going to be 245 here, cash, 240, put them on 9. Yep. $250. 255 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 255 and 55, 55, 60, we get 265, going to be 265, 70, we get 275, we get 275, 80, and 280, we get 275, 80, we get 280, we get 280 cash, 275 on 9. Phil, I don't know if we sold your cow or not, but the first one in the ring she was large. Wasn't yours? Okay. Two 10-20 and 210-20, we get 210-20, we get 210-20, we get 210-20, bit of a 210-20 and 210-20, going to be 20, going to be 20, we get 30, we get 30, we get 40, we get 40, we get 40, we get 50, we get 250 and 40, 50 here cash, 240, 9. Golly. Go on, bull. Wanted up on 250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 255, and 255, 55, 60, we get 265, we get 265, we get 270, we get 275, we get 275, and now 80, we get 280, down 280, and 75, 80, we get 285, we get 85, we're going to be 285, we get 285 here, we're going to be 285 here, 285 here, shoulder 280, put them on number 69, Charlie. This guy from Cheyenne, Brian Smith. Dollar bid, 105, and 105 here, going to be 105, now 5, going to get 5, going to get 5, going to get 5 and 10, going to be 110, 15, 20, and 25 here, going to be 125 and 30, going to get 30, going to get 30, 25, going to get 35, 135, and 35, 40, going to get 40, going to get 45, going to be 145, 145, 50, $1.55, and 55, 60, going to be 165 here, 70, and now 70, going to be 175, 175, $1.75 here, 175, going to get 5, going to get 5 here, going to be 175 here, sold 170, Winter Creek. Woo! Check his pulse, Terry.
Yeah. I hit it right here by the face right here. Make sure they're okay.
8, 9, and 10-year-old pairs. 9 and 10-year-old pairs. Guys, look at here. 2,500. 25 and 25, 600 and 67 and 7 of 8, 27 of 8, 27 of 8, 900 and 3 and 3,000, 3,100 and 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, 3,200 and 32, big 3 and 33, big 3 and 33, big 3, 4 and 34 and 33, 4, 5 and 3,500, big 3,500 and 5 and 3,500, here we got 35, big 35, big 35, big 35, big 3,600 and 35, 6 and 35, big 600, going to be 35, big 600 here, going to be 35, going to be 600 now, 35, going to be 600 here. Caleb, 3,500. Put him on number 11. Done 11. Nine tens are open here. $55 and 55 and 55. 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 60. We get 60. We get 2 and a half. We get 2 and a half, 5 and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70. We get 70. Now 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 5 and 75, 77 and a half, 77 and a half here. Bit of a half. Now 80 and 183. Going to be 189, 80 and 989, 79, 89, 89, 80 here. So 179. Put him on Jace on number 31. How old? 6-year-old, 35. 3,500 and 35, we get 35, 35, 600 and 35, 67 and 7, 7 of 8, we get 30, we get 30, we get 30, 37 of 8, 38 now 9, we get 39 now 3,900 and now 4 and 4,000, we get 4,001 and 4,100 here, going to be 4,100 here, going to be 41, we get 41, we get 41, we get 41, we get 41 2 and 40, 200 and 42 3, we get 43, we get 43, we get 3 and 43, we get 3 and 43, we get 3 and 43, we get 3. Richard 4,200. Put him on Richard Crum. Six-year-old family. She's got a lump jaw. We'll just say that cow. $1.35 on the cow. $1.35. $1.35. We get 35, 35, 35, 35, 35. We get 35. We get 35, 35, 40. $1.40 pound. Going to be 35. We get 40, 35. We get 40, 35. We get 40, 35. Now 40 and 35, 40. We get 40. We get 40. We get 40. Just selling the cow. $1.40 and 35, 40. We get 40. We get 40. We get 40. We get 40 here. S 135, 3. $200 by the head. 250, 300, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 500, 550, 600, 650, 700, 750, 750, 800, $800, 800. Winter Creek, 750. Nope. Who wants her? Terry, 7. How old? 2-year-old pair, 4,000. 40, 141. She's lame.
Oh, it's been stretched out a little, yeah. 2-year-old.
2-year-old pair.
You know they can't work 2,000.
Yep. I don't think she's horrible.
They'll get over it. They'll get over it in 2 weeks.
40, 141, and spinner Anton, 40, 100, and 45, we get 41, and 4100 here, 41, 41, 45, we get 4,000, we get 4100 here, 4100, and 4,000, we get 4100, 3,500, 35, 3,500, 3,600, 3,600, 37, 8, 9, 39, 4,000, and 4, and 4,100 here, 41, and 4,100 here, going to be 4,100 here, going to be 4,100 here, going to be 41, and 4,100 here, going to be 4,100, going to get 4,100, LaFoe, 4,000, Andy. 3-year-old family, 4-year-old family. 35 and 35 and 35 and 35 35 and 35 35 35 35 35 35 35 3500 we get 3500 we get 3500 we get 3500 and 35 and 3500 we get 3500 we get 3500 and 3,000 31 and 31 and 3,100 here going to be 3,100 here going to be 3,100 and 3,100 we get 31 we get 31 we get 3,100 here going to be 3,100 here going to be 2,500 on a pair 4-year-old pair 2,500 and 25 600 now 7 and 27 now 8 and 20 hey we get 9 and 20 hey we get 9 and 29 we get 3,000 now 3 now 1 and 3,100 we get 3,100 and 3,100 we get 3,100 we get 3,100 now 100 31 going to be 100 I sold her 3,000 you have to remind me Warfield. Both of them 2-year-olds. 2-year-old families right there, 4,000, 4,100, and 41, and 4,100 here, 4,100 here, 4,100 here, 41 here, 3,001, and 31, and 31, we get 2, we get 3, and 30, we get 4, and 34, we get 5, and 35, we get 600, and 7, and 37, we get 38, 38, 38, now 9, we get 39, 4,004, and 30, 41, and 4,100 here, 41, and 4,100 here, going to be 4,100, we get 4,100, we get 4,100 here, going to be 4,100 here, going to be 4,100 here, going to be 41, going to be 100, sold, 4,000, done, 11. Threes and 4-year-olds, $2. 210 and 210 and 210 210 20 220 220 210 20 we get 210 20 we get 210 20 220 30 and now 30 we get 230 we get 230 230 now 40 and 240 we get 235 40 45 and 245 and 45 we get 45 we get 45 going to be 245 and now 50 we get 255 and 55 55 55 55 60 we get 260 we get 260 and 55 60 we get 60 255 60 here cash 255 1. Threes and 5-year-olds. $1.50. $1.55 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, now 5 and 55, we get 60, we get 65, 65, 65, now 65, 70, going to be 175, and now 75, going to be 175, 75, 75, 75, going to be 175, and now 75, 80, $1.85, going to be 185, going to be 185, 90, going to be 190, 95, $895, we get 95, we get 95, we get 95, we get 95 here, 95 here, sold 190, put them on 3X, Chris, 3X. 8, 10-year-olds here, high guys here, 155 and 55 and 55, 55, 7.5, 57, going to be 60, we get 2.5, 62, 50, and 2.5, we get 2.5, we get 2.5, 5, and 65, 7.5, 7.5, 70, going to be 170, now 70, and now 70, we get 70, we get 70, now 8, 9, now 70, 8, 9, 70, 170, 170, 109, 70, and 69, 70, going to be 970, guys are up here, 170, 970, and $1.70, now 70, we get 70, we get 70, we get 70 here, so 169, Chris, 20. 6 to 10-year-olds. Cows had to get home. You want to take a picture of that? Send the poll up? Yeah. Should be a split draft of 36. We'll see you 36 cows, and then there's 30 right behind them. One pot load of cows coming to you. Don't sell big dots of cows.
Even if you got it 150 cows, they go eight, all the way. I said, why they don't split it, make it in two loads?
Get done. That ring can hold a load of cows.
I know, yeah.
Big ring. Biggest ring I've ever. I used to work at Enon.
Yeah.
Lydia. And this ring at Enon. These cows. Huh? They're sorting.
I don't know if they got mixed or working something to the sorting. Maybe they got them mixed right there where the singles.
Uh-oh.
Because this one right over here in the alley. In the corner.
We'll be better tomorrow. They all in? 18, okay. We'll say 36 cows, guys. One good pot load of cows. $1.50. $1.50, $1.53, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, you get 5, and 55, 57 and a half, going to be 60, and 2 and a half, get 2 and a half, get 2 and a half, get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 1, and 61, and you get 1, has it get 2, 2, 3, get 3, and 2, get 3, and 3, and 4, and have 4, 5, and you get 5, has it get 5, 6 quarter, and 6, 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7, here, going to be 7, here, going to be 67, and 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7, here, going to be 7, get 7, here, going to be 67, now $8, and now 8, here, going to be 8, and now high, get $9, going to be 9, going to be 9, 69, and now $9, going to be $9, going to be 9, here, going to be $9, and now 9, here, now 70, and $70, and 70 get 70, here, going to be 70, get 70, get 70, now 71, and 71, here, $71, 71, 71, 71, 71, here, Cavanis, 170 on 10. Here's going to be another draft of 30. Ooh, working on that. 52 and a half, 50, we get 2 and a half, 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 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, going to be 60, we get 60, we get 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 5, and 65 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, going to be 170, going to be $8, and now 9, and now 9, you get 9, here, going to be 9, we get 9, going to be 9, going to be 9, 69, 70, $1.71, and 70, 71, 71, 71, going to be 171, here, going to be 171, and 70, 71, here, 71, 71, 71, going to be 170, and 1 here, so 170, Chris 10. Six and 7-year-old cows here, $1.55 and 55 and 55 and 57 around 60. We get 2 and a half, we get 5, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 170, 170, 170, 2 and a half, and 72 and a half. We get 70, now 2 and a half. Going to be 70. We get 2 and a half. Going to be 70. We get 2 and a half here. S 170, 21. Bill Blake. Bill Blake. That's right. I won't need that guy's number anymore. He's dead. Was it B? B? Was it B? Yeah. $1.35 and 35. You give out 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 40, we get 42 and a half, 45, 7 and a half, 50, and 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 52, 50, and 52 and a half, 5, and 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half here, Kevin, that's 155, nothing. One's a 5-year-old. The other one lost her tag. Close enough to 5, it looks like. 2,000. 2100 and 21 and 21 21 21 2100 and 2 and 21 2 and 21 2 and 21 200 and 21 2 3 and 22 to 3 and 22 to 3 and 22 to 3 to 4 and 24 24 25 and 20 to 500 going to be 20 to 500 going to be 20 to 500 online. You're out 2500 and 20 to 500 2500 and 20 to 500 2500 and 2500 here sold 2400. Ricardo 5. Oh, goodness. Mm-hmm. She'll be pretty hanging on the wall someday, won't she? Watch you done to him. Daughter pound. Daughter 5 and $100 here. Good to 105. Big 5. Big 5. Big 5. Big 5. Big 5. 105 and $100 here. Good to be 105. Big 5 here. Good to be 105. Good to be 105 here and now 5 here. 50 cents a pound. 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95 dollar. $1 a pound. $1 a pound. Chris, 12.95 a pound. $1.55 and 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 60, 60, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and 5, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, going to be 72 and a half, 75, 750, and 77, 80, $1.83, going to be 8, 9, going to be 9, going to be 9, going to be 9, going to be 9, now 9 here, 70, hey, 9, Jace, 178.31. $1.65 and 65 and 65 7 and a half 7 and a half 7 and a half 7 and a half 50 and 67 and a half 7 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 and a half here going to be 67 and a half here cabinets 165.10. Little cripple, 55, $1.55, and 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 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 57.50, and 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, and down 2 and a half, 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 bit of a half here, cabinets 160 nothing. She's a yearling, guys, 250. 255, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 60, 55, going to be 70, and 5, and 75, 80, 285, going to be 285, 90, 295, and 95, 95, 3, and 95, 3, and 95, 3, and 95, 3, 05, and 3, 5, 10, going to be 310, 15, 3, 15, 20, 3, 25, 3, 25, and 325, bit of 5 here, going to be 325 here, bit of 5 here, and tone, 320. $10 years, she's 3 months bred. Golly, what's going on? Fly is like, huh? Yeah, 10-3. $1.50. $55, and 55, and 55, 65, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 70, going to be 175, 75, 72 and a half, 5, and 77 and a half, 77, 80, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, 85, 87 and a half, 87 and a half, 90, and 90, going to be 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 90 here, and 90 here, S, 187 and a half, 17. 135, and 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 35, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 37.50, and 30, 7 and a half, going to be $1 pound, 105, and $5, and $100 here, going to be 105, going to be 5 and 10, going to be 110, going to be 15, going to be 120, going to be 125, and 25 and 30, going to be 30, going to be 30, 25, going to be 35, going to be 35, 35, 40, and $40, going to be 40, 35, 40, 40, going to be 40, 140, 140, 140 here, so 135, Ricardo. 4-year-old, she's open here, $2 a pound, 205, and 25, and 205, 205, 205, and $2.05, 205, 205, 205, and $2.05 here, $1.50, $1.55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 60, 55, going to be 70, 55, going to be 80, 85, 85, 85 and 90, 190, 90 here, going to be 190, 90, 190, 85 and 90, going to be 90, 190 here, 190, 90 here, Ricardo, 185. 6 years, she's open, not a bid, 105, and 105 here, good to 105, 5, and 10, good to be 15, and 20, and 5, and 25, and 30, 35, 35, 35, 35, and 35, 35, 40, 40, 47 and a half, 40, and 10, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 47 and a half, 7 and a half, 50, 52 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 60, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 62.50, and 60, 2 and a half, but that here, good to be 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half here, good to be 2 and a half, Kevin, that's 160, X. Weigh her 65, and 65, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 7 and a half, 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 67, 70, and half, 70, 2 and a half, 72 and a half, 72, 55, and 75, 75, 75, 75 here, 75 here, 75 here, Chris, 72 and a half, 10. 210, and 210, 1250, and 10, 12 to 5, going to be 10 and 12 to 5, going to be 10 and 12 to 5, going to be 210, 12 to 5, going to be 210, 12 to 5, going to be 210, 12 to 5 here, going to be $2 a pound, going to be 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, 5, going to get 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 10, going to be 210, and 7 and a half, going to be 210, 11, and 210, 11, 11, 11, 210, 11, 12, 11, 12, 11, and 12, 11, 12, and 13, going to get 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 13, now 13, going to get 13, going to get 13, bit of a 13, going to get 13 here, so about 212, Debo. 2 years, she's 5 months bred, 2000, 20, 100, 21, and 21, 21, 2, and 23, 3, and 23, 3, and 23, 4, and 24, 5, and 25, 6, 7, and 7, how 8, 20, 9, and 9, 3,000, 3, and 29, 3,000, going to be 29, 3, now 1, and 31, 102, and 32, now 3, and 33, 34, 34, 35, 35, 35, 3600, and 36, 7, 37, now 37, and 30, now 700, 3,700 online, you're out, 3,700, and 30, 700, 37, 37, 3700 here, Chris, 3,600 on 3. Hello, Mr. Jackson. How are you, sir? Good. 3X. Oh, Penner with the 3X. Gotcha. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. It happens a lot. 8 years. She's 3 months bred, guys. 8 by 3. $1.50. $55 and 55. You got 55, 57. Going to be 60. We're going to get 2 and a half, 5 and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 170, 170, 170, and now 70. We're going to get 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 5 and $75, 75 online. You're out 175 and 75 here, 75 here, 75, 75, 70, 50 and 77 and a half, 80 and 2 and a half. We're going to get 2 and a half. Going to be 80. We're going to get 2 and a half, 5, 85 here. Going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here. 80. We're going to get 5 here. S 180, 2 and a half, 17. Seven years, she's open. $55 and 55 and 55. You got 57 and a half, 7 and 60. We get 2 and a half. We get 2 and a half. 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 67, 50 and 7, 7 and a half, 7 and 70. We get 70 and a half, 70, 70 and a half, 72 and a half, 72 and a half. Sold 170. Jace 31. $10 years, she's 7 months bred. Make sure you lock your bag. $50. $55, 60, 5, 70, 175, 175, 175, 175, 175, going to be 175 and 75, 80, $80 a pound, 175, it'll be 80 sold, 175 online buyer will be Dylan Compton online. Five-year-old cow. She's 5 months bred. 2,000. 2,100, here 21, and 21 here, and 21, 21, 2,100 here, 1, here, 21 here, 21, 21, 21, 21, and 21 2, and 21 2, 21 200 here, 1 2 now, 21 give 2, and 2,200 here, 1 2 here, 2 3, and 23 3, and 23 3, and Tone you're out, 23 4, and 24 online you're out, 24, and 23 4, 23 4, 23 4, 2,400, and 2,400 here, 4 here, 4 here, Dylan you're out, 4 5. And now 5 and 2,500 here, 5 here, sold her 2,400. Dylan Compton. Boy, her daughter bid 5 and 105 here. Good 105, big 5, big 5, big 5, big 5, big 5. Now 5 here, 10, 105, 105, 105, and 105, big 5, big 5, and 10 here, 110 here, 110 here, Cavness 105X. Cavness X. That's what I said, wasn't it? Cav X? Yeah. 105 Cav X, yeah. 6-year-old. $55 and 55 and 55. You get 57 about 60. You get 2 and a half. Zigga 7 and 7 and 67 50 and now 70 72 50 and 70. You get 2 and a half 5 77 and a half 77 and a half 750 $1.85 8 now 90 $1.95 $2 205. What I missed 210 15 210 15 20 225 225 225. What I missed 225. Sold 220, Ricardo. What was so special about her? Yeah, that's one cartel to the other cartel. I don't know about that. I don't know where to start him now. 6-year-old, she's 3 months bred. 6X by 3 plus. 2,000. 20, 100, and 21, 21, and 21, 21, 21, down 2, 21, 2, 21, 2, 21, 200, and 21, 200, you're going to be 21, 200, you're going to be 2200, you're going to be 21, you're going to be 2200, you're going to be 21, bit of a 2, sold, 2100, Ricardo, straight. 10-year-old cow, $1.30. 135 and 35, you give out 35, 35, 35, 40, you get 40, you get 5, you get 45, you get 50, now 5, and 55, 65, and now 2.5, see it can't, 2.5, and 2.5, you get 2.5, you get 2.5, 5, and you get about, and has you get about, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 70, now 70, 170, 2.5, 72, 50, and 70, you get 2.5, going to be 70, you get 2.5, here's sold 170 cabinets. Straight. Yeah, he was very upset. I was like, dude. $1.55 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7.5, 57, 7.5, 7.5, 60 down to 60, 2.5, you get 2.5, you get 2.5, going to be 2.5, 5, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, Brad, you been 65, 7.5, 7.5, 70, you get 70, now 70, $1.70, you get 70, you get 70, you get 70, you get 70, Chris, 67.5 on 20. Oh, a couple weeks ago. It's been 3 or 4 weeks ago now. You just give away free cows? It's like, I said, we cost us $100 to shoot. You take her to the dead pile. What was her story? 7-year-old cow, $1.55. 7.5, and 57.5, 7.60, and 2.5, you get 2.5 high. Now 7.5, 7.70, you get 70, now 70, $1.70, you get 2.5, 70, you get 2.5, going to be 72.5. Charlie, you're out 72.55, and 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, here, 75, here, 75, here, hold on, 172.5, cabinets 3. Yeah. 8x2, 10x2. She got long toes. 135, and 35, you give out 35, 35, a half, and 37, 7, 7, 7, 7, 37, 37, 37, 50, and 30, 40, and 40, you get 2.5, 5, and 47, you get 50, down 2.5, 5, and 55, 57, 60, now 60, and 7, you get 67, going to be 60, 7, going to be 160, here's on 157, 50, Ricardo. You love them long toes, don't you? Man, never seen such. He can't. Ricardo Jr., your mama's got long toes. 6-year-old guys right there, 155 and 55 and 55. You give out 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7, 57, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 57, 50 and 57, 7, 60. You get 60, you get 2.5, 5 and 65, 7, 7, 7, 70, now 70, 170 and now 70, you get 70, you get 70, you get 70, you get 70, now 70 here sold 167, 50. Ricardo. What's going on? Fireflies. 75 cents a pound. 75. Here's 75 here. 75 here. 75, 80. And 75 going to be 80 cents a pound. Going to be 85, 85, 85 and 90. Going to get 95. Going to get $95. $1 paid here. Going to be $1 pound. Going to be $1 here. Going to be $1 pound. Going to be $1 S. 95 on 1. Yep, just 95. Six-year-old, she's 7 months bred, 2,500 and 25 and 25, we get 6, 7 and 27, going to be hey, we get 9, going to be 3, we get 1, going to be 2, we get 3, we get 4 and 34 and 3400, 33, 34, 5 and 35, 3600 and 35, 6, 7 and 37, we get 37 and 37 of 8, we get 30, hey, 37 of 8, 37 of 8, 37 of 8, we get 3800 and 30, hey, we get 9 and 3900, 39, 4 and 4000 and 41 and 4100, hey, 4100, hey, 4100, hey, 1, hey, older 4,000. Peel, right? PH.
Phil.
6-year-old, 2 months bred, 3,000. 30, 100, and 31, and 31, you go on 31, 31, 32, 31, 2, and 32, 3, and 33, we get 4, 33, we get 4, 5, and 3,500, we get 3,500, and 35, and 35, 35, 35, 35, and 6, and 35, 6, 7, and 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 3,700, 3,700, 3,700, and 30, we get 7, going to be 37, yeah, Chris, 3,700, 3,700, 3,700, same way, 3,600, Phil. Six-year-old, she's up on daughter. Daughter 5, and 105 here, good to be 105, we get 5, 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 and 10, good to be 110, 15, good to be 20, and 125, and now 30, we get 30, we get 30, 135, 35, 40, we get 40, we get 40, 145, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, good to be 145, we get 5 here, good to be 145, yeah, now 145 here, sold, 140, Winter Creek. Five-year-old, she's 5 months, nice Hereford cow, 3,500, and 35, and 35, 6, and 35, 3,600, and 35, going to be 3,600 here, 35, 36, 7, and 37, we get 37 now, hey, we get 30, hey, we get 30, hey, 9, and 39, now 4, and 4,000, we get 4,000, we get 4,000, 41, and 4,100 here, 2, and 42, 3, and 43, we get 3, and 43, we get 3, and 4,300, and 43, we get 3, 4,300, 4,300, pill, 4,200. Daughter 5, and 105 here, good to 105, we get 5, we get 5, 105, and 105 here, good to 105, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5, now 5 here, 10 here, 15, 20, 5, and 25, and daughter 25 here, 125, 30, 30, we get 30, 125, we get 30, 125, we get 30 here, cabinets 125, X. Five-year-old cow, daughter bid, 105, and 105, and 105, now 10, now 20, we get 30, we get 30, we get 40, we get 40, we get 50, 150, 60, 70, 170, 170, 180, and now 80, good to be 80, we get 90, good to be 90, 190, 190, 190, 80, 90, hey, 92, and now 109, 210, 210, bit of a 210, 20, 210, 20, 30, and now 30, 230, 40, we get 240, 50, we get 250, 250, 60, 270, and 270, we get 270, we get 270, and now 70, we get 270, we get 270, we get 270, guys, roll out there, 270, and 270, we get 70, we get 70, and tone, 260. Daughter 55, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 60, 2 and a half, 5, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and 70, 170, and 70 gives 70, we get 70, we get 70, we get 70 here, good to be 70 here, Chris, 167 and a half, 20. $65, and $65, and $65, now 5, 7 and a half, and 67 and a half here, 7 and a half, 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 7 and a half here, Jace, 165.31. We're here, 125, 25, and 25, 30, and 30, we get 5, we get 40, we get 5, we get 50, we get 5, going to be 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and now 60 there, 55, 65, and 70, 75, and 2 and a half, 70, now 2 and a half, 70, 2 and a half, 70, we get 2 and a half, going to be 70, we get 2 and a half here, Chris, 170, 15. $1.85. $1.85 there. Gonna be 85, 85, 85, 85, 87 to hand. Gonna be 90, 2 to hand, 95, and 97 to hand, 97 to hand, 97 to hand, 2 to hand, 2, bit of a 2 to hand, bit of a 2 to hand, gonna be 2 to hand, bit of a 250, and 2 to hand, bit of a 2 to hand, bit of a 2 to hand, bit of a half here, gonna be 2 to hand, bit of a 2 to hand, gonna be 2, 2 and a half here. Gibbon. $2. Boo. X. $2, 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, bit of 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 2 and a half here, gonna be 2, 2 and a half here, 5, and half, 5, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 10, bit of a 10, 2, 10, 2, 10, 2, 10, and 2, 10, bit of 2, 10, now 10, bit of a 10, 2, 10, bit of a 2, 10, 2, 10 here, Cabinets, boo, 2, 750. $125 and $125 and 25, 25, 25, 5 here, 125 here, 30 and 25, 30 here, 125 to get 30, 125 to get 30, get 30 here, 135 and 35, 40 to get 40 and 40 and 35, 45 to get 45, 45, 45, 50, and 53 to get 50, to get 50, 45 to get 50, 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 S 145 on 9. The bouquet. 500, 550, and 550, and 555, 55, 55, 50, 600, 50,000, 700 and a half, 7 and a half, 800 and a half, 8 and a half, 9, and 900, 950, 9 and a half, 950, and 9 and a half, 10, 10. Did you get 950, 950, 950, 950, and 9 and a half, 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 go to 950, you're at Ricardo, 950, now 10, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 here, 1,000 here, 1,000 here, 1,000 Winter Creek, 950, Terry 7. $55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 55 and 5 here, 55, 55, 55, 55, 35, 40, and 35, 40, we get 35, 40 here, going to be 35, 40 here, going to be 35, 40, and half 42 and a half, and 40, we get 2 and a half, going to be 40, that 2 and a half, Doug, 145. 4 to 6 year old cows. How far bred are they? 2 to 5 months bred. 5 and I see a 6 year old. 3 to 6 year olds, and they're short bred. 3 to 5 months bred. 2,500 and 25, and 25 and 2,600 and 6, 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, 8, 27, 9, and 29, and 3, and 3,000, and 3, and 29, and 3, and 29, and 3,000, and 1, and 3,100, here, over 200, here, now 2, 3, and 33, 3, and 33, 3, and 33, and 33, 33, 33, 33, and 33, 3, 33, 3, and 33, 3, 3,300, and 33, 33, 33, 33, 33, 3, sold 3,200. What's the name? Hang on a second. Jeffrey Cow. You're the one that texted me this morning? 3-year-old and she's open. 210-20 and 210-20, 210-20 and 210-20 and 210-20, 30, we get 230, 40, we get 40, we get 50, you're going to be 250, 260, 250, 60 and 250, 60, you're going to be 250, we get 260 here, cash 251. Take a break. Wait on the vet. 200 left? Huh? Wonder how many. Well. Antone.
Yes, sir.
Let's rock and roll. 185, 85 there, good to be 85, 87 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 87, 50, 87 and a half, good to be 87 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 90, good to be 192 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, 95, and 95, 97 and a half, 72, good to be 2, good to be 2 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, 5, and 25 and a half, 750, and 7, 7 and a half, 7 and 10, now 210, 210, 210, and 7 and a half, good to be 210, good to get 210, 210, love it, and 210, 11, 210, 11 here, Gibbon Bull, 210, X. Just one bullet. That's all you needed. $135, and 35, you give out 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 50, and 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 37 and 50, and 30, 7 and a half, going to be 37 and 40, 40, 2 and a half, 40 to 55, and 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50, and 52 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, and now 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 65, 65, 7 and a half, 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 going to be 67 and a half, 70, and now 70, 70, 70, 70, 170, and 70, 70 here, Jace, 167 and a half on 30. Here and there, guys. Daughter pound. They're all going to go. Daughter 5, and 105 here, good to 105, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 105, and 105 here, good to 105, 85, 85, 10, good to be 110, 15, 1, 15, 20, and 20 here, 25, and 25 and 30, 135, 35 here, 135, and 35, 5 here, 5 here, that's 130 on 1. Trying to plan it. Yeah. Gotta talk to Bill. Gotta talk to Bill first. Putting that time off. Yeah. 6-year-old, 3 months bred. 2100. 21, yeah, 21, and 21, 21, 2100, here, 1, here, 1, here, 1, here, going to be 20, 100, and 2100, here, 21, 21, 2100, here, 1 here, going to be 15 and a half, and 15 and a half, and 15 and a half, here, half, here, 15, 50, and 15 and a half, here, did you get a weight on her? $8.55. 110, 20, and 120, we get 30, we get 30, hand 30, 40, 140, 140, $1.40, $1.40, 50, $1.50, 60, you're going to be 150, 60, you're going to be 150, 160, 160, 70, 170, $1.80, $1.90, $2 a pound, 210, 210 a pound, 210 a pound, bit of a 210. Warfield, $2. $5 a pound. 510, 10 here, 520, we get 530, we get 40, we get 50, 550, and 560, 570, we get 570, and 570 there, 570, we get 70, we get 570, and 570, we get 570, we get 570, we get 570, Ricardo, 560. Straight. $1.65, and $55, and $55, 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57, 60, 52 and a half, 55, 7 and a half, 70, 72 and a half, and 70, 52 and a half, going to be 70, 52 and a half here, Chris, 170 on 10. Hey, there's yours, Cal. You like her? $1. $5 and $100 here. Good to be 105, good to be 5 and 10, good to be 10 and 15, good to be 20, good to be 5, good to be 30, good to be 30 and 35, and 35, 40, good to be 45, and 45, 50, good to be 50, 10, 50, 45, good to be 50, good to be 50, good to be 50, good to be 50, good to be 5, and 55, 60, $1.65, and $65, and $65, sold 160, Ricardo. Lows and long toes. Five-year-old cow, $1.50. $55, 55, you got 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, $55, 60, and 55, 60 there, going to be 65, and now 5, 6, 70, $1.70, 70, 70, now 70, Ricardo, 165. I don't know. Five-year-old cow, $1.50. $55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 60, 60, 2 and a half, 5, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 72 and a half, 75, 50, and 77 and a half, 82 and a half, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 2 and a half, going to be 80, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, sold her 180, put them on Charlie, 99. You going to pin her with that 69? Yeah. Fort Pond, $1.50. $1.55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, going to be 70, 170, and 70 here, 170 here, 175 here, 80, 80 here, 180 here, cash out, 185, 85 here, 85 here, 85 here, cash, 180, one. No internet now. We don't need them. Internet. Sorry about your luck. If you can hear me, I don't know if you can or not. There's nothing on our screen. Got about 10 left. 7 by 5. 2,500 and 25, 25 and 2,600 and 25, going to be 2,600, 25, 2,600, 25, 600 and 25, going to be 2,600 here, going to be 25, 600 here, going to be 25, going to be 2,600 here, going to be 25, 600 here, Ricardo, 2,500. Goodbye. Junior. 5-year-old, 3 months bred. 2,100, 21, and 21, 21, 21, 2, we get 3, we get 4, we get 5, going to be 6, 7, and 27, 8, 27, 9, and 9, 29, and 20 here, going to be 900, 9, 2,900, going to be 2,900, Jeffries, 2,800, put them on number 10. Cal. My bad, Phil, my bad. What was the first one? Huh? Oh.
They want this announced. Y'all were vaccinated and wearing 213.
4-year-old, she's up on here, $1.50. $1.55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, now 60, 70, and 70 here, 75, 75 here, 75, 80, and $1.85, 85, 90, 190, 195, and 95, 95, going to be 195, and 95 here, 92, and 95, $2 a pound, going to be 205, 210, 210, 15, 20, and now 220, we get 225, going to be 225, and 225 and 30, we get 230, and now 30, we get 35, going to be 235 here, 5 here. We're going to be 235 here, cash, 230 on one. 3 years old here, 210-20, and 210-20, bit of a 210-20 here, going to be 210-20, and 210-20, 210-20, 30, bit of 30, 40, bit of 240, 50, 60, 260, 260, 70, and 270, bit of 270, bit of 270, 80, and 280, bit of 280, bit of 270, give 80, and 270 now, 82, 80 here, Jeffries, 270 on number 2. Pin with a cow. Gotcha. Yep. By her, 65, and 65, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 70, 170, 172, 75, 75, 75, and 75 here, 175 here, 175 here, cabinets, 172 and a half, 9. Where are you going? Ten-year-old, not a bid, 105, and 105 here, go to 105, bit of 5, bit of 5, and 10, go to 110, bit of 15, 115, 20, and 25 here, 25, 25, 25, and 30, bit of 35, and 35, 35, 35, 35, bit of 35, 40, 140, 145, bit of 45, bit of 45, 50, $1.55, 60, $1.65, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65 here, 5 here, cabinets, 160. Jace, who wants her? 30, Jace 30. Wait her, 65, and 65, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 7 hands, 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 70, and hands 70, big 70, 71, and 72, 73, 74, 74, and 73, big 4, 73, 4 here, 73, and hand 4 here, yes, 173, 2. Nine-year-old cow here, 135, and 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 35, 37 and a half, 7 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 and 40, 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 45 here, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, and 47 and a half, 47 and 50, 50, 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and 60, and now 60, 62 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 2 and a half, and 62 and a half here, Jace, 160 on 30. Daughter, 105, 105, and 105 here, 105, big 5, big 5, big 5, big 5 here, 10 here, 110, and 15, 20, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 20 here, going to be 120 here, count us 115X. You're done. $3. $3 10, $3 10, had 10 on 10 here, a little bit of a 10 here, 310, and had 10, bit of 10, bit of 310, bit of 310, bit of 310, 310, 310, $3, and 310, 310, 310, 310, and had 10 here, 10, 20, and 310, 20, 30, bit of 3, 30, 320, 30, 320, 30, and 20, bit of 30, bit of 30, bit of 30, and 30 here, and tone, 320. $55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 60, we get 60, we get 2 and a half, 5, and 65, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 170, 170, and 70 here, 70, 170 here, cabinets, 167 and a half, 10. $125, 25, and 25, 25, 25, 30, and 25, 30, 25, 30, 25, 30, 35, and 35, 40, 45, 45, 50, 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, cabinets, 150X. $65. $65. $65. 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 72 and a half. 75. And 75. 75. 75. 75. 75. 75 here. 75 here. 75 here. 75 here. Hands cabinets 172 and a half. 10.
It feels like it. Yeah. I love them.
55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7 57 57 57 60, and down 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 5, and 65, 7 70, 70, now 72.5, and 70, 2.5, going to be 70, 2.5, Jace, 170, 30. $65, 65, 7.5, 70, 172 and a half, 72 and a half, 75, 75, 75, 75, and 75 here, 175 here, 75 here, 175 here, Gibbon, 170, 250. That's going to be it for our cow sale, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for being here today. We'll do it again tomorrow, 9 o'clock in the a.m. Y'all have a good day.